Hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today I'm just gonna give you 5 things that I dislike about my Springfield. I don't hate them because hate's a big word. Just 5 things I dislike. So let's jump into it. Now these are in no particular order, but I'll start off with number 1, and that is the ground clearance for the floorboards. Now I've scraped the shit out of this bike so many times in the month that I've owned it. I wouldn't be surprised if you look under the floorboards, you see how much scrapage I've done, especially on the right hand side. Now the bike does sit higher obviously when you adjust the preload, but yeah, there's not a lot of ground clearance for this bike, so you got to take the corners real slow, which is something that I kind of don't like. But you don't buy this bike to go knee dragging around corners. The next thing I dislike is the speedo or the tachometer. Now, in the newer models like the Scouts and the Chiefs, they have an all new digital LCD gauge, whereas this one is semi-digital but mainly analog. There's just a lot of issues I have with this gauge. The first being that in a really sunny condition when you're riding, the sun shines directly down onto it. You can't really see the digital aspects of it, e.g. your fuel or what gear you're in, for example, because the digital screen just gets kind of lost to the sun. What I also don't like about the gauge is its position. If the gauge was up closer to where the headlight is, I think that'd be a lot better, because you have to take your eyes off of the road to look down to see what your speed is, and obviously with the sun shining down on it, you can't really see. So considering the technological advancements of Indian, you'd think they would put the latest screen in, but hey, I get that they're going for a rustic look with this bike, but you know, not a fan of it. Now the third thing I dislike about the bike is the lack of aftermarket accessories, at least here in Australia. Unlike Harley and many other brands, there is a myriad of aftermarket accessories. For Indian, I don't know why they've been left behind. There's not many aftermarket parts on this, so you're kind of forced into a hostage situation where you have to buy Indian's genuine accessories, which is, you know, a con as well, considering you buy motorbikes for individuality and customize them to better express yourself. And with Indian, at least here in Australia, you're kind of stuck with just the genuine parts, and individuality is not really an option, really, because you're stuck with what you're given. Okay, so the fourth thing I don't like about this bike is the fuel gauge, and that is mainly on the digital fuel gauge. Now there's 2 fuel gauges on this bike. There's the digital one, and they have an analog one up above. Now the problem is that the digital gauge shows less fuel than the analog gauge. So for example, I will be riding and the digital gauge will say that I'm on empty. So the bar would start flashing saying that I'm empty. But when you look up to the analog gauge, I have over a quarter tank. Which one do you believe? I always go with the analog one, but yeah, it's just not good. The fifth and final thing that I dislike about the bike is actually the engine noise mainly. It's a very loud engine. If you don't have loud aftermarket slip-ons, pipes, the engine itself is very, very loud, very ticky. I thought it was an engine problem because you heard like a ticky sound, but I've taken it in for a service and they've run the bike and have come back with nothing, saying nothing's wrong. It's a very loud motor, and you need loud pipes to, you know, get rid of that sound, or at least hide it, you know what I mean? And I'm not a fan of that at all. Alright, so they were the 5 things that I dislike about my Springfield Dark Horse. Now, I had to go fishing for some of these things to make the 5, because at the end of the day I really love this bike, and yeah, I've had it for about a month, and No regrets so far. Now, if you'd like to check out my video on the 5 things that I love about the bike, go check the corner over there. And yeah, the 1 month full review should be coming soon. So when I do that video, check that one out. Till the next time. Bye for now.